It's possible to make horror out of anything. You just need the right vision and twist the world around it so that your audience is ensnared in fear. Things like the location, the atmosphere, the art direction, the story, they all come together to form a scary horror scene. A simple concept can turn sinister, making people dart their eyes around, wondering what could come out of the shadows. A well-known character can be twisted into something horrific, making your blood run cold as you keep playing, your heart beating in your ears, deafening your perception, your eyes blurring around your peripherals, causing you to look around frantically to see what's around you. This is the true nature of fear. Fear wraps tightly around your heart with its sharp fingers. It tears at your mind with its serrated teeth. It freezes your muscles and tendons with its bone-chilling breath. That is how horror should make you feel. And I've been on a quest to find games that make me feel that way. Feel that genuine fear. I've been chasing it like a daredevil chases the rush of adrenaline. And somehow, along my journey, I came across a horror game about fishing. Wretched Depths is a seemingly innocent PSX game about fishing made by Wretched Devs Studios. You play as Sam, a simple fishing connoisseur who's traveled into Twin Pines in search of Lake Imperium to cast herself a bounty of fish in such unknown waters. But no one knows what lies at the bottom of Lake Imperium. Do you dare to find out what lurks in the depths below? I've got my dad's old gear ready. That should be enough to get started. I don't quite know why I came out here. I guess I just couldn't ignore something like this. I'm thinking about it too hard. I'll have to stop in town and ask for directions. I couldn't find Lake Imperium on any map. Well, I think that's Twin Pines in the distance. Arriving into town, we find a fishing shop, Mike's Bait and Stuff, selling bait, tackle, and a smile. The rest of the town is unremarkable. Inside, we talk to Mike, the shopkeep.
A new face. Judging by your gear, I'm guessing you're here for fishing season. I'm Mike, the shopkeeper around here. Any quality fish you catch, I'll gladly buy. Also, if you're looking for tackle or a new rod, I'm your guy. Even if you just want to chat, I'll be here. I got some fresh gear in stock from time to time. You should definitely check back later. Well, I bet you're eager to get started. Oh, you need directions to Lake Imperium? In that case, go back the way you came, and head east for a few miles. You'll know you're almost there when you see a tunnel.
Arriving at the lake, we see a nice pier just ahead, a perfect place to cast our line. Around the lake is a small ruin, a canoe off to the side, a small graveyard, and a rundown shack. We barely catch a glimpse of a strange shadowy figure in the window. Inside the shack is an illegible board of something, and a couple of cassette tape players.
Jenkins log, November 2nd. I just arrived in Twin Pines yesterday, and after taking a look around, something's definitely off. There are unnatural mutations in the wildlife, like nothing I've ever seen before. I need to keep digging. Jenkins 2nd's log, November 5th. After looking more into the history of this town, I found something interesting. There's been a string of disappearances. All the victims were a bunch of drifters with no friends or family. People you wouldn't notice going missing. Whenever I bring it up to the townsfolk, I get distant stares. I'm not sure if they're all in on it, or just blissfully unaware. I don't have enough information to determine that yet.
With nothing else to do, we head for the pier, turn on our radio, and cast a line out into the lake. The fishing controls are nothing to write home about. Aim at the lake, and we cast our line where the marker is green. The rod determines how far we can cast, and the lure allows us to dive deeper. For now, we only have 10 feet of line, and our lure can only go about 5 feet down. Once our line is cast, we follow the lure and can look around at any approaching fish. Once fish is hooked, we can reel it in. But though the fish will bite, they'll fight back and try to snap the line off. Reeling a fish while they're struggling will cause a great deal of tension, so a good strategy is to reel them in when they're tired and hold the line taut, causing a bit of tension until they give in. Some of the stronger fish will cause greater tension, so pro tip, hold the line as long as possible until it can't take any more and release it. 9 times out of 10, they'll stop just a moment later and you can reel them in closer. Our first catch is a sad little shad. Not the most amazing first catch, but we've got plenty of space in our cooler for more. There's some strong trout and largemouth bass at our spot, so we fish for more until our cooler is packed full. With no more room in our cooler, we head back into town to sell off our catch to Mike. Chatting with Mike at this point, he says our tackle is cheap and rustic, and to sell him some fish for some better gear. Quite the salesman he is. We sell our fresh catches and earn some money to buy a new lure, allowing us to sink to 13 feet down. With little money left, we head back to the lake. At the lake, we see someone at the other pier. On our way there, we see a strange-looking fish emerge from the waters. It looks like it has a weird growth on it. Maybe some tumor or something, but it's massive. We head for the fisherman at the pier, and he just jumps right into the lake. There's also a bucket and boots on the pathway behind. When we walk away, the pail falls over and the boots seemingly walk off on their own toward the lake. In between the shack and the graveyard, there's what looks to be a human arm. God knows why it's just lying around here. There's no blood trail leading anywhere else. It's like it just almost appeared there. Moving on, we cast our line, sinking much deeper than before, and we catch ourselves a new fish. But when we pull it up, Sam says something rather shocking. Her remark isn't far off, as we see our catch has a row of horrid teeth on its underbelly. We can also catch a strange three-eyed bass, a fish with humanoid teeth and what looks like hands for fins, one fish with some parasite or infection wrapped around it, and a fish with a massive hole in it with some maggot or worm dangling outside, presumably controlling the fish, or what's left of it. Again, we fill our cooler with enough fish for an upgrade to our tackle, so it's back to town. We sell most of the fish to Mike, but the other fish warrant a distant look from Mike. Needless to say, he won't accept the fish. Well, we've no choice but to head out, while we wonder what to do next. I noticed you have some unique fish to sell. That guy Mike, he doesn't understand. Plain as paper, that one. But me, no. See, I see the value in something like this. What do you say we make a deal? Any freaky fish like this you come across, I'll gladly buy them off you. I'd like to see you find anyone else in town who would. Jenkins acts as our other merchant for these rather odd fish we'll be catching for most of the game. We sell our odd fish and meet back with Mike for some upgrades. We can buy ourselves a new rod, allowing us to cast out 20 feet of line, but rods don't exactly progress the game. We need lures to sink deeper and to catch bigger fish. Still, we don't have enough money for any more upgrades, so we'll need to catch more fish. With our new rod, we can go out further and see more of the lake. First off, there's a hole in the lake, leading down into some strange chasm. But another thing is the fact that as our blue shark lure dives deeper into the lake, it starts to turn pink. Normally, the color of red starts to fade out in deeper depths as the longer wavelengths are scattered much quicker. That's why the ocean looks blue to us, because it gets reflected at much deeper depths. But here, it redshifts the deeper we go. After catching more fish, we sell them off and buy a new lure, sinking to 24 feet down. Talking to Mike tells us of something strange happening at the graveyard at night. Naturally, we have to investigate. At the lake, there's some more tape recorders by Jenkins now.
Jenkins log, December 14th. Here I thought things couldn't get any weirder. There's some kind of ruins in the middle of nowhere. These ruins don't match any other civilization. There isn't even a record of ancient people living here. I'm gonna find a sample and see if I can date it. Why haven't there been any reports from anthropologists? Maybe they're being silenced. Am I next? I need to be careful. Jenkins log, January 25th. The people living here have no idea. This is so much deeper than I thought. Something has caught on to my investigation. I see it. Always watching. It's not human. It always disappears before I can get a good look at it. A tall, shadowy figure with big red eyes. Nobody else sees it. They all say it's in my head. They treat me like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I know it's real. I know it's real. It's February 6th, and I figured something out. It's all connected. Everything. The mutations, the corpses, the townspeople, that shadowy fuck. All of it's connected. But how? I know it is. I know it is.
Mike said something happened in the graveyard at night, so let's take a rest and have a peek at what's going on. Oh, that just about made my heart jump out of my chest. Anyways, let's go fishing now. We catch a simple trout as our first for this trip. For each fish we catch out here, our radio will turn off by itself, until our third catch, where it just stays off. We can't even turn it back on after that. Without the radio, the atmosphere is haunting and still. It almost sounds like the very lake is alive. There's some more fish deeper down, and we find a fish with a bizarre tumorous maw growing on it, another with a massive eye staring back at us, and one with horrid parasites coming out of its mouth and gills. We head back into town and notice something's off. There's birds scattered everywhere around town, watching us. Or at least, they look like birds, given the giant eyeballs atop what look like corvids watching our every move. They silently glare at us. A new tape recorder has appeared in town, furthering Jenkins's madness.
I need more samples. Fish. It's the fish. Fish, fish, fish. It's always fish. I know it's watching my research even more closely. It's not even trying to hide it anymore. Why hasn't it killed me? It knows I'm snooping around, but it doesn't take me seriously. None of them do. Even that shadowy asshole thinks I'm crazy. When we're all drowning, who will be the crazy one? All of us will drown. We're doomed.
We now have a new lure we can purchase, but we also can get a new rod to buy, granting us a distance of 30 fishing line. But it's really expensive, so we'll have to get more fish. After catching our quarry, we get our final lure, and the town noticeably dims after we buy it. Still, we can dive 30 feet down and catch even some of the toughest fish. So, it's back to the lake. The sky glows a sinister red, and the birds have become numerous. In fact, they've been watching us the whole time, even from the beginning. They're even watching us at the lake. They're at the shack, the graveyard, the ruins. They're even watching us at the tunnel entrance. And worst of all, at some point, our radio will turn on by itself, and play this haunting message.
You can't have me. Nope. Mr. Pop. Eat.
The text reads, "Join us, it is time," and the message is garbled with radio static and random noise, but naturally, reversing the audio allows us to hear what's being said.
The Herald watches. Their boss, he's everywhere. You can't avoid my Herald. He always watches. So just join us. Join us.
Still, we're here to fish, and by God, we are going to fish. At this point, we can catch the deepest fish with our deepest lure and get very, very close to that haunting hole. The fish at this depth are beyond explanation. An anglerfish with a massive eye as its lure. A massive gluttonous fish tearing through itself. A bizarre fish with scales reminiscent of a crayfish or something, but it's massive. A nightmarish creature, barely even resembling a fish at all. We collect our quarry and head back into town. Jenkins is gone. Whoever, or whatever, this shadow is, seems to have replaced him. Talking with Mike shows how oblivious he is to the situation, stating he hasn't seen Jenkins in a while. The shadow offers us a lure. We take it. We return to the lake. Night falls, and a glow from the bottom shines through the water's surface. Our lure, the core of sin, allows us to sink to the deepest depths. What else are we going to use it for? We cast our line and let it sink down. As we reach the mouth of the hole, we soon start to see a horrific sight. The water turns blood red in color. We see limbs and human teeth lining the walls as stretchy flesh holds them all tightly. The very walls are pulsating as if the whole lake is alive. We sink deeper and fall into a massive chasm. Then we reach the bottom. Horrid teeth line a strange mass, and an otherworldly voice speaks to us. We awaken, still close to the pier, and soon close our eyes. We hear our feet fall at the pier's waterlogged floor with great force and a hurried tempo. We leap majestically and break the water's surface. As I sink down like a stone, losing my mind, flesh and bone, revealing the truth behind the facade. At the bottom of the lake, I found God.
With us. And together, we will devour everything.
Wretched Depths is a horror game about fishing. But it's not like most other horror games, as there's no lose condition, there's no threat. The scares aren't in-your-face jump scares like in many popular horror games and franchises. The horror of Wretched Depths is subtle, encroaching. It lurches for you slowly and makes you feel fear without an active threat. It's creepy, and you feel uneasy or shocked, sometimes unwell or paralyzed. But you press on. Nothing can stop you except yourself. So you keep going. You keep fishing, diving your lure deeper to see what fish you'll catch next. You challenge yourself to catch the deepest fish and add them to your collection. And when given the opportunity to see what's at the bottom of the lake, what's stopping you? Curiosity drives you to the lake to see what lies at the bottom. When you reach it, fear once again grips you, and the truth is revealed.